All right, guys, welcome back. So today we have an interesting optic. So this was sent out by my buddy Delta D80. He sent it to Desert Tactical for a review, which you can see on his channel. I'll link it down below. And then Delta D80's channel will also be linked in the description. So Delta D80 said, go ahead and test this thing out. Test it how I would test it. And see what you think and let me know and put that content out there. So Gideon's all about it apparently. So we're gonna go ahead and review this thing real quick, down and dirty. They've already done their reviews on it, so I'm not gonna hit all the same topics. If you wanna know more about it, Google is a thing. It does exist. It'll tell you more than I can, more intelligibly than I can. So we're gonna just dive right into this thing real quick, check it out, see a couple of the features, and then shoot this thing and see what we think. So first and foremost, here it is mounted onto an RMR footprint slide. So this is PSA dagger, and this plate was not included from Gideon, but it was included from Delta D80. So shout out to him for sending that plate. That way I could run it on a pistol instead of a rifle or an AR pistol. I didn't really want to run it like that. I wanted to run it on a handgun just to see and be a little bit different. So kudos to him for sending this plate out. I had screws that worked. Everything was good. So awesome. You see the Gideon Mediator right here sits pretty nice on there. It's a bigger optic, so I'm not going to say this is going to be something that you would conceal carry with, but if you want something duty rated, it's going to be carried in an outside the waistband holster like a Safari Land or Tier 1 T-Rex, whatever preferred holster brand you have. I think this is going to be just fine. Being enclosed is going to keep a lot of the elements out of your sight, which is a big reason people that have more duty styled setups are going towards these closed emitters, because you really can't mess them up. You really can't, block the emitter from showing your target. Nothing can really block it. All you got to do is just wipe the lens off and you're good. Whereas a traditional sight, you can get mud and debris and gunk or water down into where the emitter is because it's exposed. So as soon as that red or green from that emitter is covered, you're flying blind unless you have sights that can co-witness, which with something like this, you're not gonna be able to unless you're running some really tall sights. I have suppressor height sights on this dagger, and you can see it comes nowhere close to being able to co-witness at all. So if this thing goes down, I gotta rip this thing off of my slide and be able to get back in the fight. So you can see right here, you got your positive and negative, which is your brightness levels up and down. Pretty standard stuff there. It does have a slide loading battery, and you have your elevation and windage adjustments exposed here. They do not have covers. Not a big deal. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and dive into the specs of this thing real quick. All right, guys, so I got the nerd sheet out here to go over some specs real quick. Again, real down and dirty. So these windage and elevations, they are 1 MOA per click, and this thing does have a selectable reticle. You have a 3 MOA dot, a 65 MOA circle with a dot in the middle, and then a 65 MOA circle without the dot in the middle. So whichever one you want to choose to run, that's awesome. So it's parallax free beyond 33 yards. It has 10 brightness levels, 8 daytime and 2 night vision. Your power supply is that side mounted 2032 battery. If you need to swap it, you take off this cover here, you put a new battery in, put your cover back on, you're good to go. Let's do it. All right, so after roughly about 4 minutes, your shake awake feature will kick in and it will automatically turn off. As soon as it senses any kind of motion, you pick it up, you grab it, it's gonna turn right back on, and it will remember that last setting that you had it to. This thing is shockproof and waterproof, and it weighs about 2.5 ounces with the battery installed. So if you've got a 16 to 20 ounce handgun, add 2.5, almost 3 more once you get this optic on there. And again, that plate weight is not included because it does not include that plate with your purchase. However, it does come with this mount here if you want to run it on any standard Picatinny rail, and you see right here the mount, or the optic mounts right up here on top, and then here is your pick rail mount here to mount on an AR pistol. If you have a regular handgun with a pick rail on it for whatever reason, this will work. So that is included. Again, all your standard tools, product manual, all that stuff is in the box. We're not going to go over that because that's just too standard. This thing is made out of T6 aluminum, 7075, so it's going to be super durable. We're going to drop it a little bit, hit it with a water bottle a little bit, and just test that out. Let's see if we can pick up the reticles on camera here. So let me see. So that is your single dot right there. I'm going to try and turn the brightness down, see if we can get that to zoom in a little bit better. All right, so that is our just standard 3 MOA dot. We're gonna hold the positive button for 3 seconds, and there it goes. There you have that 65 MOA circle with no dot in the middle. Sorry, got it off camera there. So it just looks like a donut. And then we're gonna hold it for 3 more seconds. All right, and we've got that 65 MOA dot with, or sorry, 65 MOA circle with the dot in the middle. So I know it's hard to tell right there. Can't really see that dot in the middle, but trust me, it's a donut with a dot in the middle. So 3 different selectors. I personally like setting number 2, where it's just that 65 MOA circle, the donut, if you will. Maybe that's just the fat boy in me, but that's what I like. All right, guys, so we got the Gideon Mediator out here on the range. We're going to see how she does today. Do a little bit of torture testing, nothing crazy, nothing like Delta D80 does, but just a few drops, like normal kind of stuff that you would maybe see happen on a regular day if you have no positive control of your weapon. So same thing, got 2 targets set up. We're just going to put some rounds down range, see how she does. Not really terribly concerned with getting it pinpoint accurate, but self-defense accurate, which is able to hit a damn human body with some precision. So let's do it. All right, guys, so we got it dialed in, good enough for government. So got what, 4 rounds here. Gonna hit some steel just so you guys can hear that it is at least dialed in enough to hit that at 20 yards. And then we're gonna go ahead and do a couple drops and see if it's still ringing steel. So let's go. Hopefully I hit it so that way you guys can tell it's dialed in. Oh. All right, 3 out of 4. That was me. It is what it is. All right, so we're going to go ahead and it's empty, no mag, nothing in the chamber. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple of drops. So this is just kind of like sand, rocky-ish terrain. So here we go. It just stuck in like a freaking stick in the mud. I'll back up a little bit so you guys can see the drop next time. All right, so it's 1 drop. Here we go. Another one. And see, here's some rubble. All right, cool. So make sure the dot still illuminates. All right, so it still illuminates. Let's go ahead and see if we ring steel again. All right, so it's still on. I got 1 more. All right, good. So it's still on. Gonna maybe pick it up a little bit. Maybe I'll go shoulder height this time. All right, so shoulder height. Come over here to the rubble. I don't know what else you guys want. So, all right, go ahead again. All right, so she's still on. You know, it's pretty rugged. So one thing I do want to say is that the optic isn't as bright as I would want it to be. So obviously you see my surroundings here, very bright, very desert-esque. So the red just doesn't get quite as bright as I would like it to be compared to some other dots that I have where I can make it to where it's like overbearingly bright. I will say that's a con. So I like the circle on this one. So if I'm aiming at a darker background, it's okay. But like, see my targets out here, they have that white background. It just blends in, and the brightness of my area overpowers the brightness of the dot. So I've made sure that I've turned the brightness all the way up. It's just, you really gotta search for it to get it, and then once you get it, it's pretty easy to stay on target. It's just acquiring it to go right away. And then you see down there for that same target, the lower left is a red torso. Yeah, I can't pick that up at all with the dots from 15 yards. So yeah, if somebody was wearing a red shirt and coming at me, I don't know, maybe maybe I wouldn't be able to acquire my target. I'm not sure, but that's what irons are for, right? You always run backup irons. That brings up another point with this one. My suppressor height sights do not co-witness with this because you have to run this plate, and the plate is so huge. Any acro plate will fit the RMR slide and then fit to the mediator. My sights are useless. Also, another con for me, just this is just a personal thing, is for how big the optic itself is, the window is very small. So I get it, they tried to make it more rugged, which, hey, it's doing its job, it's holding up, it's good. It's just, I really wish that window was larger. It kind of defeats the purpose of having this nice, big, heavy duty optic, but shrinking that window down to, the size of, say, a RMSC optic. Ooh, guys. So I just noticed this. I did not even notice it to begin with. When I was shooting, I didn't even see it. But as I was looking at it, so check this out. The slide, or sorry, the optic is cracked. You see that right there in the lower corner? It cracked. It completely shattered. Holy crap. So I'm just dropping this on, like sand. This is like soft stuff here. And then right here where I dropped it, I didn't drop it on the big rocks. You can see right here is where I dropped it, in the middle of that stuff, which, yeah, this is all really just fragile rock. It shatters as soon as you put any kind of pressure on it. Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even notice that. That's insane. So yeah, she shattered. So maybe I guess a suggestion would be to recess this glass into the optic a little bit more, give it a little bit more of a ledge, because I guess if, since it's so flat to the end of the optic housing itself, anything that just hits right there is going to shatter it because it's not recessed at all, really. Dang, that's crazy. I didn't even drop it hard. I've seen Delta drop these things on like big old rocks and concrete pads and steel plated pads, things like that. Man, I'm really surprised that happened. Well, let's keep shooting and make sure that it's still on. I'm not even gonna cut. I want you guys to see. Do I have any rounds? Yeah, I got rounds. All right. Let's go ahead and see if this thing's still on with this big crack in the freaking glass. I didn't even notice that. Yep. 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 All right, so she's still on. It didn't affect anything. I just really didn't expect the glass to break that easily. Whew. All right, so let's see if we can even pick up the dot here. So see if I can get it in here for my hand. Can we even see it? I don't think the camera's gonna. Oh, okay, there it is. So you could see, like, what I'm saying. Like, it kind of. This is at the brightest setting too. Ah, where are you at? There it is. So I know it looks blurry on camera. It's not blurry. It's a circle dot. But it's hard. You can see where I'm saying, like, you can get it to get on target. It's just very hard to keep it there once you do. Man, that's insane. All right, so anyway, guys, let me know what you think about the Gideon Mediator. So these guys will take care of this. I'm not worried about that at all. Shit happens. I didn't drop it that many times. You guys saw it. I dropped it, what, 2 or 3 times out here on the soft stuff, and then 2 or 3 times out there on the bigger stuff. Waist and shoulder height, nothing crazy. Didn't try to destroy it. It's just one of those unfortunate things that does happen, and that's life. So I think that was a very good, realistic demonstration of, you know, dropping an optic, and then, hey, it happened to shatter just in a normal kind of environment out here where I'm from. Now, maybe where you're from, it's real soft leaves and green grass, and you could drop it all day and you'll be fine. Other people live in a little bit more austere environments, and that's okay. So it took the lickings, kept on ticking, keeps putting targets down range. So this target is also, so this steel target is 20 yards away, and it's about this little bit bigger than my palm. So, well, my hand, sorry, not just my palm. So you see, this is like a 8x6 or some shit. Like, it's a very small steel target. So 20 yards away, I'm still ringing steel. I call that a win. All right, so we're back home. Final thoughts on the Gideon Mediator. So, I mean, yeah, it's unfortunate that the glass broke, but at the end of the day, it did what it was supposed to do. It kept its 0. Rounds were able to be kept on target. Now, their customer service and warranty, they don't really, you know, question you if there's a defect, or, you know, it doesn't hold up as well as it should. In this case, obviously, I have video evidence. They're not really going to give you a problem. They're going to make it right, and you really have nothing to lose. Again, like I said, I didn't even notice the crack at first until I started, you know, talking about it and giving you guys like the lowdown on everything. And you know, it held its 0. I was still able to keep those rounds on target. The only 2 suggestions I would have is to somehow recess the glass here on the front into the body of the optic a little bit more, and then, you know, maybe tweak the laser to where it's or the emitter to where it's a little bit brighter, because it is kind of hard to see out in the desert sun. Whereas, you know, some of my other optics are a little bit easier to see, but who knows if they're as durable, you know what I mean? So there's always you know, pros and cons to everything. You can't have it all and your cake and eat it too. I mean, you know, acros are selling for, you know, 2 to 3 times what this thing's selling for. So, you know, what do you want, you know? So take it with a grain of salt, guys. I think that this is a solid optic for the money, and Gideon's really coming a long way. I'm looking forward to trying some of their other optics. So again, huge shout out to Delta D80 for getting this out to me and introducing me to the world of Gideon.